in the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios. There's Tommy Wortz, Tim Allen. My ears were ringing there for a second. What are you guys doing?
Me?
You and Sparky, yeah.
Dude, I am the billboard. The billboard is there. They just won't stop talking about it, Tim. And it's me specifically now that they're all in on. But I did tell them just there in the last segment, I was like, I'm happy that if they were trying to look to promote the two best looking at the station, they chose me and you, rightfully so, because
radio people are ugly.
Well,
that's why.
Right. That's why, the video could be alarming for some. You love it. I love it. And that's because we are meant for our faces to be shown off.
I don't. You said I like the video?
You are warming up to it, I think.
It's a 13-1 Brewers victory.
You changed the subject. I was ready to talk Brewers baseball. Sparky, I hope he's logging this overtime here, because 5 minutes after his show is supposed to end, he had to be here at this point. But, it's good news, 13-1. And, oh, my gosh, that eighth inning I thought was going to last forever, and thankfully it did not, because, wow, that was dumb, Tim. That was dumb.
Well, I got a call from a buddy of mine. He's really, really deep into football and fantasy football. He's a longtime commissioner of one of the leagues.
Okay.
I mean, talking decades. He didn't get, him and a coworker were listening at work. Elise, big fan of ours, listens to the post-game show. They didn't understand what happened to the velocity here. And I'm like, yeah, Woody, it's tough. And they're like, no, not him, the guy pitching now. Just a few minutes ago. So to clear that up, and if they ask, that means a lot of other baseball fans, Brewer fans, may wonder why. You throw in a position player in a blowout runaway game like this. In other words, you're saying, okay, the game's over. What we don't want to do is use another inning to use a reliever.
Right.
Because these relievers, hey, there's only so many bullets in the gun. They may have wanted a reliever to go ahead tomorrow. I think they're headed to Chicago for a series over the weekend tomorrow. So just to explain that, it's sort of waving the white flag, and you're done. So you throw in a position player. Brewers are not immune to that as well. They'll go with your boy Jake Bauers on the mound.
Oh yeah, all the time. I think we should lead. I know we'll get into a game recap. We're going to take your calls, 414-677-1250. Brandon Woodruff, and I thought this was kind of cool, Tim. I don't know if this is a part of the new Brewers TV or why they decided to do this, but I don't know if I've ever seen a manager provide an injury update in the middle of the game.
That was super cool.
Yeah, and here is Pat Murphy on the injury update with Brandon Woodruff.
Yeah, he wasn't himself. He felt like, he felt kind of dead. Said he didn't feel any pain, just that nothing was coming out. And we've seen a little bit of this, but never at this level where he can't get the ball over 85 miles an hour. So he's so important to us. We're not going to risk anything maybe long-term by having him try to step on it. He's going through this process, and hopefully he'll be okay and will work himself back into his form. Because even with him maybe not throwing his normal 95, he still can get outs and win. And as long as he doesn't risk injury, I'll go with him every time.
So about as promising as it could sound, I think, in that moment, at least, from Pat Murphy. Maybe he doesn't want to scare or waver anyone off from there. But Brandon Woodruff's velocity down from, sitting 92 on his fastball to 20 pitches in, and he hadn't hit over 88. I think he hit 87 once during this.
Yeah, that's rough news. It just is. And I don't want to, like you, Tommy, we don't want to read too much into it, but, is he going to turn into the right-handed version of Brent Suter?
God.
That's where he was hanging out in terms of velo.
Right. The velo was, and again, he said he never reported any pain. It was just the arm was dead. Like, I don't know if that's good or bad news from there. And it's definitely scary. And there was that cut in pregame today. Pat Murphy said you could not have predicted he'd look this good and healthy and make 6 starts before May. And now, of course, 20 pitches later, that's what happens to Woodruff.
Just more challenges for this 26 championship season.
Yeah.
That's what this is. folks. It is. They're 16-14. They just took that series. On Monday, the off day, the goal was to win Tuesday or Wednesday, win one of those games. Why? Because it sets you up for today, and they got it done. That's a success. That in any measurement form, that's a success. This was a huge win for this ball club. We heard Christian Yelich on you and Mason and Thunder's show talk about hanging in there, just kind of stay afloat, just kind of you gotta hang with it until you get a little healthier. Well, losing Serpa, losing Woody potentially here, that's not great news. But look at them; they are hanging in there through the 30 games. It's a 16-14 mark, and you come off with a victory today. 13-1 the final to take the series in Game 3 here. Nicolay Law talking text line 414-677-1250. Seems a little snake-bitten type year. And by the way, I'm at the point now, just so you know, Tommy, I'll tell you, but just between you and I,
okay,
I am now at the point where I feel bad for Greg Jones.
Oh, the bunt with 2 outs today.
That was it.
That was punting. That's all that was. Like, I don't know why they called it a bunt, because that was a punt. They just did not want to see Greg Jones even try to swing the bat with 2 outs and a runner at third base. That was.
I called it, though. I did. That's the same call I would have went with. I'm screaming bunt. Just have him bunt. Well, look what
maybe
happened.
That was his punishment for losing the last challenge yesterday. They were like, you have to try to bunt.
If I'm not mistaken, his next at bat, didn't he strike out on 3 pitches?
Yeah, I mean, it's Greg Jones, man.
I feel bad.
I know.
I do.
I know. I wish the best for Greg Jones after Monday, but you have 3 more games left in the bigs for the Brewers here. This is. I wish, Tim. This is what I'll say between you and me. I wish it was Daz Cameron. Instead of Greg Jones, because that's where I'm at with Greg Jones, at least.
Just don't hate the person. I hate the production or lack thereof.
Correct.
Yeah, it doesn't mean we dislike Greg Jones as a human being.
No. I hope Greg Jones has like a beautiful family and just, hope his son makes the big leagues and plays better than him, because he can't. But
Nicolay Law talking text line 414-677-1250. With Woody, let's just say he's out a little bit. It doesn't sound great. I guess the little tidbit of good news is that he didn't feel any pain.
Sounds like a dog you're putting down. He didn't feel any pain.
He didn't feel anything. He just went to sleep. Old Yeller. Old Woody, dash garnet. So, the other thing is, look back to spring training and heading into the campaign here. If we could get, or if the Brewers could get 20 to 25 starts out of Woody, we all agreed that we'd all take that. Would you take 22 starts out of Brandon Woodruff throughout the campaign this year? We all did say yes. He's got 6 starts in now. And now who knows, question mark, what will they do if there's an extended leave of absence for Brandon Woodruff? We'll talk about that coming up. Your thoughts on a 13-1 Brewers victory today. Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show here in the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios. Tim Allen, Tommy Wortz talking Brewers baseball. Brewers get the victory today to take the series against the Diamondbacks. Did you notice early in this game? Both these teams wanted this game bad. If you noticed this game, you had early on Pat Murphy barking from the dugout.
Yeah.
On a call during the Bryce Terang at bat.
That was the second at bat of the game. Yeah.
You had Arenado snapping a bat in half. These guys, both these teams, they wanted to take this series. This was beautiful. All right, Potawatomi Sportsbook post-game show here in the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios. Tim and Tommy and Nicolay Law talking text line 414-677-1250. Question is, how many more starts does Woody get this year? I think that should be the focus here. How many more starts? Maybe a layoff a little bit. Maybe he comes back, goes 15. Let's hit that Nicolay Law talking text line and talk to, he's labeled here as Giants Sam in Beloit. What's going on, Sam?
It's supposed to be Science Sam, Tim, not Giant Sam.
Cheyenne?
Science, like the subject.
Science,
school.
like Bill Nye. Like Bill
Science,
Nye. I got you.
Sam.
I got you, Science.
Got it.
Yeah.
Shoot.
All right, go for it.
Yeah. All right. Well, the question about how many starts Woody's got in the tank, I think the answer is a big old goose egg, to be quite honest with you. His launch angle year to year from his last healthy season in 2023 is upwards of 5 to 6 degrees. Average exit velocity is starting to creep up and up. He's relying a lot more on the fastball this year compared to even last season, and the whiff percentage is going down. The barrel percentage is going up. I feel like at this rate, I want to know your response to this. I feel like we're just pushing off the inevitable the more we trot him out there.
I don't know. I mean, I didn't expect him to go 6 straight starts to open the campaign either. I don't think any of us did we?
I don't think so either. I honestly didn't. I was shocked, to be quite honest with you, that the qualifying offer was extended because it feels inevitable that this is likely, because of all the injuries, probably his last season in big league ball.
So first one on the board here to answer how many more starts this year for Woody is a big fat 0 from Sam. All right, Sam, we're going to have to take a break pretty quick here. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. You know what I feel bad though, from the personal side of things.
Mm-hmm.
You look back at the payday that and not that I'm crying a river that he's making $22 million this year.
Right.
Come on. $22 million. How long is it going to take you to make $22 million?
Never going to happen.
I do feel bad in that regard. He was pitching for some cash. And not that if he recovers this season and throws and is a free agent at the end of the year, will someone take a pop at a $4.5 million deal?
I got
injury risk. I mean, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, why? I guess if he's willing to take that, absolutely. Larry and Tosa. I'm a Woodruff fan, but that contract for $22 million was risky business. I hope he's okay. On a lighter note, before the season started, I put $20 on the Brewers to win the pennant. I stand enthusiastically behind that wager. From Larry. Also with Woody, Tim, the way I look at it with the contract, by no means do I look at it and think about Woodruff selfishly. I think about the Brewers, and I think about the allocation of $22 million and where that could have got in a roster spot or roster spots to bring in someone that maybe you wouldn't have to see a Greg Jones and a Blake Perkins on a daily basis on this team.
Again, though, I'll go back to Akil Baddoo. That's a big loss. I'm not saying he's a world beater or anything like that, but that is a dude that I'm convinced would have done better than Perkins and Jones. There's no doubt.
Well, yes, and I still think he was only like 1.5. Wasn't he like a $1 million guy? And then it was when he go to AAA, it was $800,000. Like he was still going to make money even if he got sent to AAA. But again, Tim, like they spent $22 million on a guy like this. I don't think they expected him to take it, and Woodruff maybe taking it. Did he know that there could be a ticking time bomb situation happening with his arm? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you got to wonder. All right, good. So we'll peg him off on the fingers here. Jackson Churio, Andrew Vaughn, Christian Yelich, Quinn Priester, Angel Serpa, Jared Koenig, now Brandon Woodruff. Wow. And they're 16-14. That again, I take the what did I label 6 players right there? 6 or 7 players. I mean, at 16-14. We'll talk more after the break, but how many more starts for Woody this year in your mind? Without knowing, hey, your guess is as good as ours. Nicolay Law Talking text line 414-677-1250. Potawatomi Sportsbook post-game show here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
What happened in today's game? What do the numbers look like? It's time to go inside the box score on the Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show with Tim Allen and Tommy Wortz on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
I don't think anybody would have guessed that he would have made 6 starts in April and do so well coming off what he's coming off. So it's been a blessing for us to have him make those 6 starts. And I think it's going to take a toll on him at some point. I don't think he can make 36 starts, but I don't put much past Woody. You never know. He really takes care of himself, and he really is a fierce competitor.
Oh, wow. I mean, that
was today.
That was today. Yeah. Is that like kind of, is it ironic? Is it Murphy's Law? Is it is it a little bit? Kind of?
Could be a little bit. That was Pat Murphy pregame presser. Welcome back in. It's the Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show live here in the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios. Tim Allen, Tommy Wortz, and a 13-1 Brewers victory. The good news, they win the game. They take the series. Their record now 16-14 through the first 30 days, 30 games.
Yep.
Can we get out of April? I think that's the thing for a number of reasons. Number one, this weather. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Let's get to May and see if that can just give the Brewers a little good luck in terms of injuries. That box score is packed full of runs scored, RBIs, a triple shy of the cycle, a 4-hit game. You have Rengifo knocking in 3. It was a big day for this Brewers offense.
A big day indeed. Starting with Brandon Woodruff, though, 1 1/3 in this game with 2 strikeouts. He still had 2 strikeouts in the first inning today, too, Tim, with his stuff being that far down. I mean, his cutter was sitting 83 today.
That's where the moxie comes in out of that dude. He's half the arm he used to be, and he's still successful. It's a big hit for the crew.
21 pitches in the outing only for Brandon Woodruff. Grant Anderson came in with 8 pitches, 7 strikes rather, for those 2/3 to clean it up in the second inning. Shane Drowan, really an unsung hero today as well, Tim. 4 innings of work, 5 hits, just the 1 earned run, 4 strikeouts. His ERA down to 3.86 now after that rough first outing that he had.
Okay, when you think about who's replacing Woody, there's Quinn Priester on the horizon. There's also Gasser. There's Henderson. Let's not discount Shane Drowan in this rotation if indeed Woody has to take a break.
McGill, Fitzpatrick, and Woodford each coming in pitching an inning. McGill a 1-2-3 inning. That's good to see. His ERA down to 6.55, which sounds crazy still, but it's a lot better than 14 where it was at from a certain time ago. He had 1 strikeout. Fitzpatrick, his first career and second career strikeouts happening in the 8th inning.
Not Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Ryan Fitzpatrick.
So his nickname is not Ryan.
Not Ryan. I love that. That's maybe nickname of the year so far from Tim Allen.
Ryan.
And Jake Woodford, 2 Ks in that 9th inning as well. On the hitting side of things, Tim, the only man who did not have a hit, who is it?
That would be Greg Jones.
Greg Jones. He's hitting 0.95 on the season.
If you're just tuning in, I did mention in the open that we're at the point where now I feel bad for the guy.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough out here for Greg Jones. Mitchell was 2 for 4 with 3 runs driven in today. Bryce Terang, another 2-hit day. He also came around to score 3 times. William Contreras with a homer, his 3rd on the season, and a faux day for you with faux RBIs as well, Tim.
Oh, for Contreras?
Contreras, yeah.
Yeah, triple shy of the cycle. I was just about ready to look up, all the cycles in Brewers history and get that all ready to go. Had a couple of cracks at it there. Rengifo.
Yeah.
Starting to heat up a little bit.
Yeah, he was 1 for 5 today, 3 runs driven in. Hey, he was 1 for 5 today. His average went up. That's what happened with Luis Rengifo. We'll take that always. Jake Bauers, 1 for 4, came around to score twice as well after drawing a walk in this one. He should have got credit for the hit. If they were giving the hit to William Contreras in the 8th inning, Jake Bauers should have got the hit in the 8th. Just want to put that out there in the universe. Tim, how are you starting to believe in Tyler Black at all? Because he had another 2-hit day, 3 runs driven in. it looks more confident, at least. Maybe the pop. I mean, he almost had one leave the yard.
He did.
The double today that brought another couple runs across. I don't know if Tyler Black is legit or if he's now caught a hot streak, but this is the hottest we've seen Tyler Black look in a Brewers uniform.
We need to see him play defense a little bit, I think, before we can just say, hey, he's here to stay. But wouldn't that be something if he is here to stay? You're right. Playing with a little more conviction, much more confidence. We saw this in spring training where he just was different. Then he goes to the WBC and it, again, looks good, is productive. I mean, that's one of the bright spots so far, or early on. Small sample size is no doubt.
Well, and in that 7th inning, this made it 12-1. Sal Frelick's 3rd homer of the year.
Here's Frelick deep into right field. He's going to watch it fly. Look at Sal. His 2nd home run of the series. Up into the Loge level. And it's 12-1 as Bernie hits a slide.
Doubters, don't you doubt Sal Frelick. Don't do it.
But Sal Frelick, that 2 homers today, by the way, first time the Brewers have done that since the 14th of April. Hit 2 home runs in a game.
Okay, well, they're on the right path here. They need to get some damage done in D.C. over the weekend. More on that in a little while. But Brandon Woodruff, we're going to hear Pat Murphy and his full presser, but comments coming out now is that the weird thing about this is that he doesn't feel injured.
No.
That's strange.
It is. It is very weird today that the Brewers, I don't know. Would they not have seen something like this in pregame? Was it they tried to send him out again for the 2nd inning when it was very apparent in the 1st inning as well?
He went up the tunnel in between innings.
He did.
Then came back down.
Yeah, something was that was a mad dash in the 1st inning too. Everyone was on the phone. Murphy was talking to Chris Hook. He was talking to Jim Henderson. They were all in some sort of panic type mode. That it was very apparent from the beginning of this game something was not right with Brandon Woodruff.
So there's a couple of different choices here to replace Woody if indeed he misses time. Nicolay Law talking text line 414-677-1250. How many more starts does he get this year? A couple of logical moves since Drowan is stretched out and through today. I believe he would be the leading candidate, Tommy, to go in the next 5 games.
Well, it could be. I don't know if I would say that how many starts are they going to need before Priester comes back too, right? I mean, are they going to need just a spot guy? Are they going to need someone that is ready to be fitted into this rotation? That I think that weighs into it too, because if you just need a couple of starts here and there, maybe it is just a Drowan. If you want someone that's going to be in this rotation in place of Woodruff because you're not ready with Priester, I think you got to go back down to AAA, Tim.
Well, could you go back down to AAA to grab a reliever and Drowan starts the next time Woody comes up?
Oh, you want Easton McGee back up here, Tim? Is that what you want?
That bad.
You want Easton McGee over Robert Gasser or Logan Henderson or Coleman Crowe, any of those guys?
Now, another logical choice would be 1-for-1. You replace the starter with another starter, and that would be Logan Henderson.
Mm-hmm.
Now, from what you told me, he pitched what, Sunday?
Sunday, his last time around.
Okay, so the logical choice if there's an IL stint is Logan Henderson. Another logical choice. Logan Henderson comes up and then does a bullpen, throws a couple innings. That would be because you don't want him to wait that long. When does Woody's spot come up again? It may not be that. Let's see. There's 3 games over the weekend, 3 games into St. Louis. They may be able to get by until next Friday.
Right. Isn't there an off day built in somewhere between
on
there?
Thursday.
Yeah.
On Thursday. So that being said, then do you want Logan Henderson to wait that long? Maybe he gets a pen in Sunday's game in DC, and then he's slotted in for a Friday start of next week.
Okay.
Another logical move would be a Gasser. Now he's slated to pitch today,
and so is Coleman
lines
Crowe. Yeah, they have a doubleheader in Nashville.
those two pitchers line up where Woody pitched today. So there are many options here. And I believe I'm leaning toward this is my final answer. I'm leaning toward Drowan. And then you bring up Henderson, not for the start. Drowan gets the start. Henderson comes out of the pen.
All right.
It's almost like you do an opener on that game.
Couple questions then we'll throw out there to you. We already have one going out on the Nicolay Law Talk and text line. How many more starts do you see from Brandon Woodruff this season? And then the other one, if you want a replacement, who do you want taking those starter games away from Brandon Woodruff? We laid out a bunch of options here for you. If you want to say that you have faith in Priester to come back and just assume the role easily, you can have that as an option, I'm sure, too. 414-677-1250. Let's get back out to the Nicolay Law Talk and text line. Beer Count Kenny, I'm sure you got an answer for it. What's up, Ken?
Oh, I got an answer for you. Hold on.
Right there.
Hold on. Here we go. In the cooler.
You not ready for this?
I'm always ready for this, but I got to make it good for the show, for crying out loud.
Yeah, that was a good one. It wasn't as good as your last one. That was like a 8.5 out of 10 on the beer crack.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right.
But here we go. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. When all this nonsense about Woody and the Brewers, okay, at some point in time, this is going to sound bad, and I know fans aren't going to like it. Move on. I mean, how long are you going to mess around with this guy?
Because he was good.
Oh, great. Everybody was good at one point in time.
He's like good now. This year, he's good.
Not good now. Here's the deal. Stop with all this nonsense. Listen.
Hold on.
Just
Throw out the numbers. I mean, Woody has been bulldog competitive.
Here we go.
The Brewers win behind him.
Games.
He's a leader. There's way more than what he's done on the mound. This is a big hit, Kenny. It just is a big hit. It is.
Here, look. Here. I don't know why nobody, maybe I'm crazy. How could you not expect this not to happen? The guy hasn't been healthy in years. The mere fact of the matter is that he couldn't pitch last year when we needed him in the playoffs. Here, Matt Arnold is already prepared for this. Don't kid yourselves, people. It's not going to be about what's sitting down in the minors. It's going to be about what they're going to trade for. They are fully aware, as great of a guy as Woody is and how well he pitched in the past and all this other about it. Hey, sometimes you just got to move on. We have lost some tremendous pitchers due to not having the financing to put them in and pay for those guys and other trades that have gone on. But the fact of the matter is sometimes you got to get past some of this. Now, do I hope that everything works out? Sure. But the reality and the history speaks for itself. With all that being said, this is a great win today, another series win.
Huge. Yeah, well, you had to take the series. I mean, that is really a focal point. But as I've said, while you're injured, every single victory, it just means more right now.
Look at what this team has been able to do with all these injuries. They're still right there, couple games out. And remember last year, we were at the end of May and everybody was losing their minds. We're at the end of April.
Thank goodness.
And this team, with all of these guys that are in here, the plug and play, right? Where you're just kind of putting guys in, waiting for your horses to get back. Plus, look at what's coming up, with Williams and Pratt and Fisher. I mean, there are opportunities here beyond comprehension. And Murph and Arnold know this. So there is no reason to be in panic mode. Plus, we have a tremendous pitching staff waiting to come up. So
big hit. I'm sorry, Kenny. It's a big hit for this team.
You know what? No, it's not a big hit. But it is for many people that are fans of Woody, and I'm a fan of Woody. But here's the thing. You have to look past it. This is a business. And at some point in time, you have to realize that Woody just can't stay healthy, and that's the sad part of this.
It's like Christian Yelich. If he were healthy right now, and then he had a back issue and had to go 10 days or 15 days, we wouldn't be surprised. I think we were guarded with Woody coming in because, and the reality and proof of that is when we talked during the hot stove shows in the off season, how many starts for Woody? Well, if you can get 20, 22 starts out of him, you'll be good. So that's a built-in time frame of Woody not being able to go every 5 games. So it's not a total surprise. I agree with you, and it shouldn't be to the organization. But look at what he's done so far. Where would this team be without him? They'd be a few games less than what they are now.
No two ways about it that he doesn't bring tremendous leadership. He's been able to help out a lot of these younger pitchers and guys that struggle. That's fabulous, right? But with that being said, when you're paying a guy $22 million, you got to be able to perform. And all of the surgeries and injuries and rehabs, at some point in time, Tim, you know this as well as anybody else, and all the listeners know this. When you can't get production out of somebody, you have to move on. Now, I'm not saying that this is the end of him, right? However, we're going to hear this in the next 10 to 20 days where he's at. And I hope he's able to overcome this. But at this point in time,
beneficial for the team. I mean, so I just look at it as he's been productive. All right, Kenny, we got to go.
Well, he hasn't been productive. Hold on.
He has been productive through 6 starts. Yes, he has.
Yeah, Ken.
I don't know where you're watching Brewers baseball, Kenny, but this dude's been good.
6 starts, 30 innings, 3.6 ERA in 2025. 12 starts, 64 and 2/3 with a 3.20 ERA in that time too. That is a hit, Tim.
It's a hit for the team. All right, Kenny, thank you, man. Thanks.
Yeah.
But I get it, but I totally agree with you that this did not come as a surprise to the organization. They had to be prepared for this. Just based on his recent history. Yes, they had to be prepared. Just like they have to be prepared for a Yelich back thing. You have to be prepared for that. I'm 100% convinced that they are.
Yeah.
And they were.
Let's fit in one more here. Harley in the VA here. Harley, how are we doing today?
Hi, guys. I respect everybody's call, but Kenny, you did wrong. I mean, you are absolutely dead wrong. I don't know what you've been watching Woody for the last couple of years, but this is a huge hit for this team. I don't know how many bullets, injuries these guys can take. They're holding their own. This was a huge loss today. I'm not a surgeon, but I've been through 12 surgeries north of 12. And I can tell you, sometimes your body just doesn't respond anymore, guys. It just, no matter how much therapy you go through, no matter how much emphasis you put on a particular muscle group in your body, it just doesn't come back.
Mm-hmm.
Now, with that being said, I don't think he's going to pitch again this year. It's in my gut. Again, I'm not a surgeon, but the tone in Murphy's voice, the panic, when Woody walked up the alley and then came back down and Murph's on the phone and people are scrambling, I don't see him coming back this year at all. And just one more thing, and I appreciate the show. Keep your thoughts and prayers with the men and women fighting in the Middle East, and have a good show, guys. Love you.
Thank you, Harley.
Yeah, we certainly will, and we thank you for your service years ago.
I got
battling.
I got something here. So coming up here on the Potawatomi Sportsbook post-game show, still your calls, your texts on the Nicolay Law Talking text line 414-677-1250. However, just Shane Drowan and Pat Murphy for post-game sound. Brandon Woodruff has left and was getting an MRI on that arm as well today.
Yeah, and we to Harley's point, we need to remember that pitching is making your body do something that it kind of wasn't built for. I mean, whoever put this all together in terms of human beings, this species. We were not football. The body isn't built to get slammed into the ground all the time.
Sure.
It's just not. And same with pitching. It's weird. I recall talking to Woody years ago, And it's weird that he had mentioned that, I see all these arm issues all over the place. Never really had arm issues for years and years. Some do it that way, and they're fortunate. Most, as the saying goes, you either have two types of pitchers, ones that have Tommy John and elbow surgeries, and ones that are going to have Tommy Johns and elbow surgeries. Now it's the shoulder that's impacting. I see a spike in shoulder injuries over the course of the last decade or two. So we'll talk more. We'll hear from Pat Murphy on the other side, 414-677-1250. Nicolay Law talking text line. Got our insurance run of the game with G2 Insurance, your friend in insurance. That's coming up as well. Stick around. We're talking Brewers baseball after a 13-1 victory to take the game in the series over the Diamondbacks and the Woody injury. Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show here in the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios. All right, welcome back. Brewers get the 13-1 victory to take the game in the series, but it comes at a cost, and we're talking about Brandon Woodruff. Going to take some time off, according to Pat Murphy. No IL move, no roster move for now. Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show here in the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios. Tim Allen, Tommy Wortz, and some good news and bad news. This just in, Tommy. Brian, not Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Yeah.
Just put in a request for 53 jersey number. No, you had to be listening to last night's show.
To yesterday.
Yes,
Yeah. Now that Tim he saw the numbers, put them in the wrong order.
I did.
And yet still I don't even know how you did that. You want to know why I asked you, Tim? Because part of me knew you were going to say 53. Part of me knew just because it was like that would be so Tim Allen to have the right two numbers, but not get the right number, where it's like it was close enough where you could just visualize that it was 35
somewhere in there.
But for some reason, like I wouldn't have asked Sparky. But as someone who knows numbers of players in the history of Brewers baseball, you just have a vibe of where guys are on the number train. And you guessed Brandon Woodruff's number when the inverse of that is actually Brian, not Ryan Fitzpatrick's number.
I believe, didn't Bill Castro wear number 35?
I don't know. It's a fake name to me. I've never even heard of it. No,
there's William Castro and Bill Castro. Check this out. I got a little souvenir at Old County Stadium years ago, and it was a plaque, a little bit. It's a plaque like you'd put on your wall. But it was just a little guy, because I couldn't afford the big one. I bought the little guy. It's 1978. Brewers plaque, a little wooden thing, but a little bit bigger than a pack of cigarettes. And it had all their autographs all over the place on this metal piece that was, glued to a piece of wood. On there has both Bill Castro and William Castro. The same guy. I always found that, I don't know, maybe it was him doing a joke and no one caught it, but both his names were on there. That's just weird.
Bill
was
Castro,
35 or 38?
Yeah, he was number 35.
35.
We all know Bill Castro's number. Yeah, let's go back out to the Nicolay Law Talking text line. Uncle James, you're up on the Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show. What's up, Uncle James?
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
What it do?
Yes, Timmy, I agree. Bye-bye, April. This has been a horrible month. We're very fortunate. We're 16 and 14. But, this month, I don't know, man. It just hasn't been as exciting as last year so far.
Flip the calendar, and that I shouldn't say it, but it can't get much worse in terms of injuries. God. In terms of injuries.
This is just
I mean, did I not count them off to you? There's no way.
Oh, all right, Tim, that's fine. Yeah, Uncle James, what'd you think of the game today other than the Woody stuff?
Well, it was a great game today. It's funny, either we score 10 or 12 runs or we score 2, and I don't get it. But I'm not so optimistic with Kenny thinking that Matt Arnold's going to pull a trade. I mean, we still got this Jones dude, and he's hitting under 100 now. Who in Major League Baseball is on a roster that hits under 100?
Not many.
And we got nobody, I'm sure. And then we got the Blake Perkins can't hit, and Joey Ortiz, of course, he ain't hit forever. I mean, I don't know. I'm not optimistic. I think Matt Arnold's got to pull a trade with somebody. Don't you agree?
Well, I don't know now because you're so close to Churio and Vaughn returning.
Well, and this is the same narrative that is going to happen last year. Remember, July 7th, like they're not going to make a trade because Woody's back and healthy. That's like getting a trade acquisition, right?
There you go.
So it's like they're actually going to make 2 trades on Monday, and they just get Jackson Churio and Andrew Vaughn in exchange for Blake Perkins and for Greg Jones.
Well, quick question. When these guys come up from the minor leagues, does the team put them up in a hotel room, or do they got like property that they let these dudes crash out at? Because
typically a hotel right away until they get their lodging taken care of.
Okay, because I mean, like this Greg Jones, he's gonna go back to the minors as soon as probably Monday, right?
Yeah,
And
I mean,
probably
Greg
Perkins.
Jones did not buy a house in Milwaukee.
Right.
No shot. No.
Right. So his family's still wherever the hell his family's from, and yeah, that's what I figured. They had to rent the hotel rooms, but how do they get paid then? I mean, they're making minor league money. Do they get extra money when they play in the majors? I mean, I know
Just
they
like
get more
you, every 2 weeks, direct deposit every 2 weeks.
Well, of course, I'm on Social Security, so that's once a month. So.
Yep.
But I do work on my part-time job. But like I said, I'm glad that we're getting Vaughn and Cheerio back. But like I said, I'm not optimistic that. I still think we got to make a trade, and I'm sure that's why we haven't made a trade so far, is because they were prepared that Woody might get hurt. So my guess is they're hoping he's back in 2 to 3 months. So that way, August, September, he can gear himself back, and hopefully we're still in the pennant race, and hopefully he gets healthy and can carry us through. That's what I'm hoping.
There you go. See, now that would be a decent plan. I think, would you take Woody coming back for the stretch run, and you can get by without him right now without making a trade for Frankie Montas or something?
Right. I'd bring up Gasser because he's a left-hander too, right? Because that way we'd have 2 left-handers in our starting rotation. Most teams don't got that.
You know who's earned the start? You know who's earned Woody's spot right now? We all know who earned it. He earned it today.
Yeah.
Shane Drowan has earned that start. He has 60 pitches today. He was did he not just pitch in the series?
Yeah.
He was just in. Was he not in
game one?
Game one?
Yeah, he might have been. I'll take a look.
I think he was. But I think that's the dude they're going to point to because it's lined right up there with Woody. He's on the roster. You can just rest assured that that's the guy you go with. Now, in if there's an IL move for Woody, then you bring up a reliever, and it could be Henderson. So, again, that means Fitzpatrick is here to stay.
I think
so.
So.
He seems pretty good. Don't you agree?
He's doing well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe he's the new Brian Hudson. Maybe he's the new Brian Hudson.
Oh,
big.
Yeah,
big
so
dude,
he can
lefty.
just not make he'll have a great year and then not pitch in the postseason. That's what we're expecting here out of Brian Fitzpatrick.
Take what we can get out of not Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Drowan did pitch 1 inning in game 1 of this series. Yes.
And so 60 today, that's earning that start. You got to give him a pop at this thing. Uncle James, thank you.
My pleasure. So I guess for everyone, remember it's All Talk on Sunday. So park it up, and as always, keep the buzz buzzing.
I love it. Brian in Valders, you're next.
Not Ryan. Brian, not Ryan.
Yeah, Brian, not Ryan in Valders. Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show. What's up, Brian?
Yeah, guys. I mean, this is a big hit. I've been listening to some of your callers, but to me, I love Woody. But I feel this is a big hit from a standpoint of he's that man in the room that Murph always talks about, that leadership. Well, we got to remember, your veterans are more than just players. They're leaders in that clubhouse. And I think that's the part we're going to really miss the most. Now, granted, we're paying them $22 million a year. Did we see this coming? I think when we made the decision to trade Freddie in the offseason, I think we kind of made a decision. We're going to go with the leadership of Woody. And it's going to be a hit, no doubt, because some of these young kids play well for us, yes, but I worry about the leadership in that starting rotation, as you get deeper into the season towards the playoffs.
When you add it all up heading into the season, Brian, thanks for the call. When you add it all up heading into the season, you have a young Quinn Priester slotted, a young Mizorowski, a young Kyle Harrison, a young Brandon Sprout, a young Robert Gasser, a young Logan Henderson. They went all in young, guys. Mm-hmm. They did. Now, were they concerned about that? Of course they were. There's no question in my mind they were. Wouldn't you? I'm not downing young talent, but young talent's young, and they sometimes go through it a little bit. We're still going to see that. We saw it with Sproat. He was dynamite and just, wow, powder keg just blew up in his face. He's going to learn from that. Now, one of these younger guys, here's the hope. One of these younger guys is legit, for real, and never looks back. It appears to be Kyle Harrison, but I'm not going that far with him yet just because of his age. This starting rotation is going to be young. I would be shocked if there were a trade for a starter.
No,
I'd be shocked because Tommy, going in, they knew it was going to be young anyway.
Right. Yeah. And I'm sure that was concerning from the beginning of this point, right, Tim? I'm sure they were already weary of, there's not a lot of vets. They didn't bring a Quintana in. There is no Wade Miley. There is no Frankie Montas.
Freddie Peralta.
It's going to be a bunch of Quinn Priesters. It's going to be a bunch of let's see what happens, learn on the fly, trust in Hook, trust in Henderson. Yeah.
Collectively, they have been really good and clearly the bright spot of this first month of baseball.
Absolutely.
All right, we'll take a break. We need to hear from Pat Murphy and his thoughts on Woody. And we're talking about a Brewers 13-1 victory in which Woody went 1 1/3 and exited no pain, but just didn't have it. There's something there, and they're going to find out what that is. And we'll talk more after the break here. Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show after this victory here in the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios.
You gave the crew some breathing room. What play was it? It's time for the insurance run of the game. Brought to you by G2 Insurance, your friend in insurance. On the Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show with Tim Allen and Tommy Wortz on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
A 13-1 victory. I'm crossing my fingers, Tommy, that you're choosing the right insurance run or runs of the game here. Brought to you by G2 Insurance, your friend in insurance. There's something to be said about the hit that put your team ahead to stay.
Ahead to stay. Oh, yeah. Well, Rengifo, no, don't let him get hot in the first inning. That's what they're calling him now, Tim. That's what some people are saying. What a double in that first.
And Rengifo shoots out to right center. Coming in to score is Contreras. They're going to wave Bowers. No throw. And Rengifo delivers in the first inning. It's a 2 RBI double, and the Brewers have 3 on the board in the opening frame.
2 strikes, 2 outs.
Yeah, speed.
2-run double.
Speed from Jake.
And speed on the bases. The cheetah rounding third.
You're welcome, Rengifo, for that second RBI from Jake Bowers. And running a business like a championship run around the bases. One bad hit can take you out of the game. G2 Insurance Services specializes in keeping your business and reputation protected. They offer a tailored solution for restaurants, professional liability, and workers' comp. They represent top carriers like Erie to find the best combination of coverage and price. Get the defensive line your business deserves. G2 Insurance Services in Brookfield, online at g2ins.com, your friend in insurance.
The game is over, and it's time to hear from the skipper on the Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show with Tim Allen and Tommy Wortz on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
All right, guys, what do you got? Yeah, he doesn't feel like he's injured. He said, my arm's dead. Nothing's coming out. I think we just have to be really cautious here. We're going to get him checked out. We're going to get him tested. We're going to get him everything he needs just in case with his history. But, we've seen it. We've seen it where he came down, his velocity's down early, and then it climbs. We were waiting to see in the second inning if it climbed, but it was down as low as it's ever been. And then, we think maybe some rest, he can build back up, and that'll, people go through stuff like this. Hopefully, he's solid and there's no injury there. That would be awful, but I think he'll be down for a while. I'm not going to say right now before any of these tests get done or that type of thing, but it seems like something he's going to be able to work through. We haven't made a final decision on that, but that's in the conversation. No. And when he warms up every time, Jack, he warms up like that. 84, 85, nothing special, locating, getting his feel for his change, cutter. And then when he got to the mound, it didn't change at all. And then after the first inning, we said, hey, man, what do you got? And he said, well, let me go back and see if I can get a little extra. And then you're starting to think, wait a minute, we don't want him to get a little extra, and then maybe something happens to him if he strains or whatever. So I think it's a process he's got to go through.
Anything in recovery from the last start leading up to it that was just off?
Remember, we took him out early. We took him out after 5. We could have left him in. It was a low pitch count. He wouldn't. He was prompting that. Like, hey, this might be a good spot. We were ahead in the game, I believe, or whatever. We had a good lead or something, and he's like, this might be a good spot. So when he's talking like that, we're like, but he said he wasn't like he was injured. He knows himself pretty well.
On that note, he's just a guy that will always let you know when something's wrong.
Oh, for sure. He's been through too much. On
a brighter note, throwing to pick him up back into that. Granted, the offense awesome too, but the throwing to give you the bolt that you guys.
Yeah, he was. You think about Contreras catching this many games in a row and putting out the numbers he did today. Contreras was amazing. And to catch how many different pitchers today, 6 different pitchers today, and a long, day game after night game, him to put up that offensive game he did. And then Jerome was spectacular. Here's a rookie in his third appearance, and throwing 4 innings of, I don't know, I guess he gave up 1 run, but he was great. Everybody that threw today was very good.
Does that allow you to breathe a little bit, Murph, when the runs and the pitching in order? It could have been a really going out on the field, it could have been really disastrous.
Yeah, it could have been. And again, those other guys stepped up, had some good offensive days. Terang was really, really good. Contreras was great. Bowers had a decent day. And Black had a big hit. Rengifo had a big hit. Sal had a big hit. Hamilton had good at bats. Mitchell, big hit. So yeah, some good things happened. Against the pitcher that had been, I mean, look at that guy's numbers. That had been unbelievable.
Murphy talked about Contreras, that the catching every game with a home swing, and then on the last day of the home swing, being able to get on base 5 times. I mean, you talk about him a lot, but that's just.
Yeah, he's his own man, and but there's no question that guy likes to compete. You know what I mean? And Gary, his backup and our normal DH, has done a lot of great things for us too. But William, certain games I want him to catch, certain times I want him to do this all 3 thing. Not every time for sure. But Bowers and Freeland ran into each other. Yeah, they didn't really run into each other. 2 below average athletes just trying to get out of each other's way. You guys knew you knew I'd say that.
Would you say that?
No, he's going to go with us. He'll go with us. Yeah, he's going to fly and meet us. He'll do some tests and fly and meet us. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, there he is, Pat Murphy. I mean, come on. You can't make that stuff up. The running into each other, Frelick and Bowers. That's why you love Pat Murphy. All right, you guys enjoy this victory. Enjoy the off night tonight. And the Brewers back in action tomorrow in D.C., start of a 3-game series against the Washington Nationals. Paybacks on the minds of at least me and a few other Brewer fans. You got to get those guys back. Tommy, you have the leadoff show tomorrow afternoon.
Yes, we will be here 1 hour before first pitch, getting you all caught up, ready for Brewers Nationals ahead of Game 1. Last series without Vaughn and Churio, hopefully.
Yeah, take this series, get a victory tomorrow. All right, that's going to do it for the Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show right here in the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios. Once again, the final 13-1 as the Brewers win the game. And the series came at a cost, though. We'll find out more about Woody in the next 48 hours or so, I'm sure. For Tommy Wortz, my name is Tim Allen. You guys have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow night. And remember, as always, smile, Wisconsin. Bob Uecker is smiling back.
Smile.